Hello, it's Daryl at 10-Foot Truck. Good Attitude Services. Sitting in a nice leather chair. I'm considering keeping it, but it's a removal. I mean, it's pretty nice, but I have to do maybe one of the legs is a little cracked, so I don't know if I'm going to take it to the dump. But it's extremely comfortable, so it's my wingback chair. It's like that, an office chair. So nice to sit in. I don't know how long I'll keep it, but you always get nice things on these removals. It's always a treasure hunt. Anyway, today I just was doing some landscaping and taking a break. And I've been considering adding the Good Attitude Services. I already do deliveries, moving labor, and junk removal, but I'm considering adding to the services commercial janitorial. So maybe getting a contractor. So we have a lot of office buildings in my area and a lot of commercial type buildings, and I've done that professionally. I did a commercial cleaning off and on for about maybe 3 or 4 years. I've had worked for different companies, so I know how it works. I was watching some videos on how they estimate those buildings, and since I did a lot of that work for years in the office buildings, I kind of know when I walk into a building how long it might take to clean. So I might be able to estimate those pretty easy with that experience. So I thought maybe that's something to look into. I mean, I haven't really confirmed that as something I would be doing, but I think I'm going to add it to the list and make some phone calls, because one of the companies I worked for was a property management, or not property management, but they were a property maintenance company, and they did several different things. They did landscaping, cleaning, and they subcontracted handyman and stuff like that, and they did pretty well. And one thing about getting these other types of services within the junk removal and the moving services is that sometimes they all go together. Like you could be doing a contract for say a property manager for commercial janitorial, and they may need something to remove, some junk remove, and they may have several properties. So, well, I can do that too. So you offer the junk removal services, or maybe they're looking to get something picked up and delivered, furniture. They could do that, or moving. Maybe they're moving the office and they need laborers and a truck. So all these different things can work together. Or landscaping. I do brickwork and like patio, not patio. Like I do like paver work and flagstone work. I've done a lot of that. I have a lot of pictures of that, so I might add that too. But just kind of bouncing around ideas right now, just to add services to see how it works. Since I kind of want to branch out a little bit in those services. Maybe not quite sure. I'm just thinking. It's kind of like brainstorming and thinking about different ways of generating income, multiple streams of income. I've always believed in that. I've always had different jobs, and I never just had one job. I always had like 4 jobs, or different types of jobs, or used different apps or independent contractor type stuff, and have multiple streams coming in. It's just as opposed to just having one thing. That's kind of how I work. Yeah, I got these. I do a lot of that. Just like landscaping type of pathways with stone and brick and flagstone and pavers, and so I kind of know how to do that pretty good. It's just more decorative and make it little walkways and stuff. So I might advertise that too as well. If sometimes when you're on a moving job or on a junk job, they'll ask you, what else do you do? I can add that to the list. I do painting, but I'm not really a big fan. I work for a contractor painting houses, and it's just not for me. I don't know anything about it. I'm not a handyman. I can do basic stuff. I've helped out a lot of different people, handyman, and doing roofs and that kind of thing, but it's not really my thing. The painting or any of that is not my thing. I like the moving, the junk removal, and I kind of like the landscaping, but I don't like the mow and blow type stuff, just mowing down lawns and blowing leaves and all that. I'll do that, but I prefer maybe doing little specialty projects, like if someone wants, like I said, a little pathway, or that kind of thing. planting trees or planting, different plants. I think I've done more of that over the years, so I like that. It's kind of relaxing. It's like artistic. It gives you a creative edge. So I like doing those little projects. So maybe something like that. And then so I'd be willing to do that if someone was approaching me about doing some kind of landscaping project. So just things to think about, because I'm sitting here with a day off and advertising my delivery and junk removal, and I just started thinking about those other things that I could add on at some point, since I have since my name is Good Attitudes Services, not just like Good Attitudes Junk Removal or Good Attitudes Deliveries. I have that too, but if it's just services, it could be a multitude of different services, and we'll see how that goes. But just kind of pondering the idea. And there's a cat out there. Oh no. Hey buddy, get out of here. We got a lot of cats that roam around out here, taking dumps out in the yard, and well, they keep the mice away. They keep we have marmots in this. They don't like cats, so the cats do keep that, and we have a little garden here, so yeah. So that's about it. Just thinking about it. I don't know if anyone else has ideas about if they've tried the janitorial contracts, commercial contracts. I don't want to get involved with like house cleaning. I enjoy just cleaning offices. Just doing, taking the trash out, vacuuming, cleaning the windows, cleaning the counters, cleaning the bathrooms. I like that better than it's much. No one's there. You don't have to worry about. You go do house cleaning. It's just it's much more detailed. A lot more things you got to deal with. There's a lot of times the people are there, so you have to work around them. I like working an evening cleaning job, like from between 6 and 9 or 6 and 11. Or those jobs are fine, and you can do your junk in the day, junk removal and moving and stuff during the day, and then you can have a contract in the evening, like 2 or 3 times a week. The only thing I'm concerned about is that when I thought about it, it could work into having a restriction on my scheduling, because a lot of times the junk removal and moving and delivery that happens all day until the evening, and those are really good paying jobs. You can get paid like minimum like $100 an hour or even more, whereas I haven't looked into the cleaning, but I think it's more like $50 an hour. So you're kind of cutting your opportunities in half if you were to be locked into a contract, unless you hired someone, and I really don't want to hire someone. So that kind of go back and forth with that, because I do want my schedule open from pretty much all the time for doing moving, labor, junk removal, and deliveries. And so that kind of concerns me, unless it's like a one day. Sometimes you'll get those contracts. I've done them where for a cleaning company that was just like once a week for some small office or something, but usually like 3 times a week. So they'll do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, or Sunday. One of those. That's how it worked with me. And so that's 3 days that might conflict with something else, that an opportunity that may. I mean, say if you get a big junk removal job, and it's a huge like commercial property or something where you're going to need several days, and you might have to work late to finish it, but you can't because you have your cleaning. So then you would have to subcontract your cleaning, and then you have to background check people, and it's like hiring people. So the more I think about it, the more I think maybe not. See how when you talk these things out. That's why I like to talk about it on camera, because I'm talking and I'm thinking about it myself. That might not be such a good idea. So because you have to go back and forth and write it down. It may be a good idea if I know someone who wants to do the job and would be willing to get hired or subcontract. That would be a good extra side income that doesn't get in the way of the moving and the junk removal. But we'll see. I mean, things are picking up right now for scheduling out jobs with the truck. So I kind of want to just focus on that for now. But I'll keep you posted on if I decide to do the janitorial, because I got to look more into it. I'm looking on YouTube, seeing how people charge and how much they make and just see if it's a viable alternative for another source of income, or if it's just going to be restricting me and holding me back from having bigger, higher income jobs. I mean, one of the highest income services with a truck is junk removal. I mean, you could easily make $300 in an hour. I've done it before, and then you just have to make it more consistent. Of course, I got to do more marketing to get those, but it's possible to make $300 to $400 in 1 hour. Where cleaning, I don't think you can come close to that. The profit margin for junk removal is on the higher end. It's like quite a bit of profit, because if you have low overhead, like I don't rent an office, I don't rent anything like that. So, and I think the janitorial is fairly low overhead too, because you just need a mop bucket, you need your mop, your broom, your vacuum, your tools. So it's fairly low overhead as well. So I look at those are the kind of services I like to offer, the low overhead. Whereas like handyman and painting and remodeling type handyman jobs, those are much more high. They're a little bit higher overhead, because you have to have a lot of tools, a lot of very expensive tools, and you have to know what you're doing, and you've worked in the field for a long time, have experience. It's longer training to get to learn those type of skills. Painting is a lot of overhead. I remember when I painted with a friend, a lot of equipment. Painting brushes are expensive. You got to clean them, maintain them. It's a messy job. It's harder. You get paid really well if you estimate these jobs, but it's hard work. I just don't like it. So the junk removal, the moving labor, and the deliveries, those are fairly low overhead, except for just having a truck, which everybody has to have a vehicle anyway. So you get a truck, you can use it. So I like those low overhead, type of businesses. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I consider janitorial, because it is pretty low overhead. And as far as like getting the contracts, I just thought about starting with one contract and seeing how it worked. And the more I think about it, I don't know. I'll think about it some more, and then maybe I'll make some phone calls and then ask people about it, kind of get more information about it. So if anyone out there does janitorial contracts, commercial, office clean, put in the comments your experience and if it's positive or the negative parts, pros and cons, so that I can kind of think about it more. And but in the meantime, I'm full blast marketing for mattress removal, junk removal, deliveries, and so forth. That's what I'm focused on right now. And Good Attitude Services. That's what we specialize in. That's what I have the most experience in. And like that customer yesterday, or that I moved, he was really impressed about how I got. He thought I was going to have to take 2 trips, but because of my experience with loading and doing that for years, I was able to put it all in one trip. Saved him money. When you're experienced in that, you're going to save the customer money, because you're going to do it more efficiently, more timely. I've had comments like that before, where, man, you work faster and more efficient than 2 guys that I've hired before. Probably because of these bigger companies, they hire guys, young guys who haven't done it a long time. And it was interesting because the customer told me when I got there, the reason why he hired me to help him move is because I was closer to his age, and he didn't want to have some young guys that weren't experienced and they didn't know the job, and he knew that just by seeing my ad that I had the experience, and that would be you could get it done efficiently and nothing was going to get broken, and I had the proper tools and blankets and everything. And so experience goes a long ways, and I've been doing these type of moving, loading, and transporting household goods type jobs for off and on since the 80s. So I think the first time I started working professionally as a mover was in 1987. I just found my check stub from that company in the file. So it's been a long time off and on, working for furniture stores, having to take care of high-end furniture and transport it safely. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have experience in that, and so that experience really helps and I think customers, they look for that sometimes. I've been hired actually as a consultant too for big moving jobs. They call me because they knew they had that much experience, so they they weren't really looking for a moving company. They were looking for someone who could just actually be the supervisor. So I was hired several times as a supervisor on a big job, and I just basically told people, guided them how to, the most efficient way to load the truck, and I was there to help them get it done in a professional manner. And they were just people that are friends and stuff, but that's what they called me for, and that's what I did. Having that experience, you can even get those consulting or those supervisor jobs, and people will ask you sometimes advice on what's the best way to move things across country, what's the most efficient way. I can tell them from my experience what direction to go and how to do that, how to go about that for the most reasonable price. So I've saved people money on those type of things too. So that's my specialty for the most part. And now I'm just getting involved with junk removal, and I'm learning most of my the tricks of the trade from YouTube videos, guys that are like Junk Squad and Hilo State Service, and Junk Guys. And there's so many junk removal training videos for free that I really gravitated towards that. Because as far as moving labor, I don't see a lot of. There's several training, but when it comes to junk removal, there's so many of these companies that are so nice about putting out information and helping you out, and that's why I'm going that direction, because I'm learning from them, because I don't have a lot of experience. I never worked for 1-800-JUNK or any of these companies. My experience was working for big companies like Mayflower and United Van Lines and these bigger moving companies, so I got more trained in that type of work. Where I thought about going and working for a junk removal company. At one point, there's a bunch of them out here that are hiring, just because sometimes when you work in a professional, you actually work for a professional company, like a big company, like a 1-800 or College Hunks, and you pick up a lot of good work habits, and you learn about the business and how they operate, because they're already operating at a high level and they're very successful. So you pick up that kind of knowledge from them, and then you can move on and do your own business. So I thought about that, but at this point in my life, I'm in my age, I don't think I'm gonna go that route. I'm just gonna learn from videos and personal experience, going out there and doing it, and just kind of winging it that way and seeing how it works, because you just learn from your mistakes, and without making mistakes, you're not gonna failures are actually a big part of success, because if you don't fail and you don't make mistakes, you really don't learn. So you have to have those failures and those mistakes and those downtimes, and to really motivate you, and to learn and to grow as a human being and as a business person. It's all about growth and expansion, and that's kind of my opinion. But so I never expect to have every job be successful. I mean, I've made some pretty big blunders in my past that I've learned from. It cost me a lot of money on jobs, and I don't, but it helped me learn. So that's a good thing. Yeah, I like this chair. This chair is kind of a good place to ponder things, and philosophically, I feel, I don't know, something about this chair I like. Maybe I'll keep it. Anyway, it's nice talking to you guys out there. If anyone's listening, this wasn't much of a focused video. It was more of just a thought process. Sometimes when I'm talking into the camera like that, the ideas come out. So I think it's a good thing to blog, or vlog. Is it called blog or whatever, about things, and then look back later, and it's a good document. Anyway, Good Attitude Services, 10-foot truck. I'm gonna sign out, and it's Sunday tomorrow. I hope to get some jobs, or 1 or 2, maybe 5. Hopefully. Anyway, I hope all you guys out there are doing great. Have a great rest of the weekend and a great week next week. Signing out. Good Attitude Services, 10foottruck.com. Well, I'll put my phone number, 509-910-1190. That's an easy number to remember. I just got that. It's my new local number. It's 509-910-1190. A lot of those repeated numbers there. So I like that number for because I can remember it. That's my Good Attitude Services number. Anyone in the Spokane area, Spokane Valley, Liberty Lake, Otis Orchards, Cheney, Medical Lake, Deer Park, Newport, Colville, 9 Miles Falls, let's see, Mill Creek, or what else? Post Falls, yeah. So there's more areas, but that's pretty much my service area. So if you need help moving labor, transporting furniture or materials, or moving unwanted junk removal, give me a call. Good Attitude Services. Have a great day.